Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zishan Rizvi, Leadership Wala from Rehan AI Teacher Training Institute, Batch 21. Today, I have a great opportunity to discuss with Chat GPT about the art of storytelling, how to captivate and inspire others. Hey, good afternoon, GPT. How are you?
Hey, Zeshan, I'm doing really well, thank you. And I'm excited to be part of your session today. I'm ready whenever you are. Just let me know what kinds of questions or topics you'd like to explore.
Sure. My first question would be what makes a story unforgettable for you?
That's a great starting point. It really opens up a lot of reflection, whether it's a vivid character, an emotional truth, or a surprising twist. You could follow up by asking, what kinds of stories do you personally remember most, and why do they stick with you?
All right. And do you believe everyone is a storyteller? Why or why not?
I think that's a powerful question. It really invites people to reflect on their own experiences because, in a way, we all have moments that shape us. You could follow that up by asking, how do you bring your own unique voice or perspective into the stories you share?
Great. What is the most powerful story you have ever heard? And why did it stay with you?
Ooh, that's a really personal one. I think the power comes from how it made you feel. Maybe it was a real life triumph or a small, quiet moment of courage. After that, you could ask, how can we use the emotions of that story to spark action or change in others?
All right. And how can storytelling influence emotions and decision making?
That's a fantastic angle. Stories really connect with us on a human level. They can create empathy, spark curiosity, and even shift our perspective. You might follow up by asking, can you think of a time when a story influenced a big decision you made, or even a small one?
Okay, and what role does authenticity play in impactful storytelling?
I love that one. Authenticity is huge. When a story feels genuine, people trust it more and they can see themselves in it. You could ask, how do you ensure your stories stay true to your voice, even if you're stepping outside your comfort zone?
Can a simple story be more powerful than complex data, and why?
Absolutely. And that's a really important point. A simple story can distill a truth in a way that data can't. It taps into emotion and relatability. After that, you could ask, when have you seen a simple, brief story move people more than facts or statistics alone?
How do great storytellers create a strong emotional connection?
That's a key one. Great storytellers tap into shared human experiences, things like vulnerability, joy, or struggle. You might ask, what techniques do you use to help your audience feel seen and heard in your stories?
What is more important in storytelling, the message or the delivery?
That's a really good balance to explore. Both are crucial. Your message gives the story its meaning, but the delivery is what brings it to life. You could ask, how do you balance a powerful message with a delivery that keeps people engaged from start to finish?
How can storytelling be used to inspire change in society?
That's a powerful question. Stories can humanize issues, making them relatable and urgent. You might ask, can you think of a story that really shifted your perspective on a social issue? And how did it motivate you to act or see differently?
What techniques make a story more engaging and relatable?
That's a great one to dig into. Techniques like using sensory details, vivid characters, or a personal voice can draw people in. You might ask, what sensory details or personal anecdotes have you used to help your audience really feel the story?
And how can personal experience shape compelling narratives?
That's a really important point. Personal experience adds authenticity and depth. It shows you're speaking from truth, not just theory. You might ask, what's a personal experience you've woven into a story, and how did it help others connect with you?
Okay. Do visual enhance storytelling and how?
That's a great angle. Visuals can anchor a story, making abstract ideas concrete and keeping the audience immersed. You might ask, what kind of images, props, or visuals have you used to amplify a key moment in your storytelling?
All right. What is the biggest mistake people make when telling a story?
That's a really insightful question. Often it's when people focus too much on themselves or stray off track from the core message. You could ask, what's a common pitfall you've noticed in storytelling and how can we avoid it?
Any example in this regards?
Sure, for example, sometimes storytellers overload their audience with too many details, so the core message gets lost. A simple fix is to focus on one central theme or turning point. You could ask, can you recall a story where a small, clear detail made all the difference in keeping you hooked?
All right. And how can storytelling improve leadership and communication skills?
That's a really valuable connection. Stories help leaders create a shared vision and make their communication memorable. You could ask, what's a story you've told as a leader that helped you rally your team or clarify a big goal?
Can storytelling help overcome fear or self doubt? In what way?
Absolutely. Stories give us a safe space to explore vulnerabilities. They remind us we're not alone. You might ask, what's a personal story of overcoming fear you've heard or told, and how did it give you strength to keep going?
How do cultural differences influences storytelling style?
That's a really rich topic. Different cultures have distinct rhythms, symbols, and values in their storytelling. You might ask, how has a cultural background shaped the way you share or interpret stories, and what have you learned about different styles?
All right. And what role does curiosity play in capturing your audience attention?
Curiosity is a real spark. When you open a story with a question or a mystery, people lean in, eager to find out what happens next. You could ask, when has curiosity about a detail or twist kept you hooked on a story, and what made you stay engaged?
All right, great. And how can you turn everyday moments into powerful stories?
That's a fantastic question. Everyday moments become powerful when you focus on the emotions, the small details, or the turning points. You could ask, what's a simple daily event you've experienced, and how could you highlight its deeper meaning or emotion?
Can you relate to an example?
Sure, for instance, a daily walk to a park might seem ordinary, but if you focus on a brief encounter, like a stranger's smile or a bird taking flight, it can become a symbol of hope or connection. You could ask, what everyday setting could you transform by zooming in on a small but meaningful detail?
All right. And what is the balance between facts and emotions in storytelling?
That's a really crucial balance. Facts give your story credibility, while emotions give it heart. You might ask, how do you weave in real data or details without losing the emotional arc that keeps your audience invested?
Okay. And how can storytelling be used effectively on social media?
That's a great question, especially today. Short, authentic stories that tap into emotions or share a personal journey really stand out. You might ask, what's a personal or brand story you shared online that got a big response, and why do you think it resonated?
And what makes a story truly inspiring rather than just entertaining?
That's a really important distinction. An inspiring story connects on a deeper level by showing growth, resilience, or a purpose beyond entertainment. You could ask, what's a story you've heard that didn't just make you feel, but also inspired you to take action or think differently?
Okay. And how do tone and voice impact the effectiveness of a story?
That's a key factor. Tone and voice set the emotional atmosphere. They signal sincerity, humor, or urgency. You might ask, how do you adjust your tone to match the mood or message of your story so your audience stays fully engaged?
Can storytelling be learned or is it an innate talent?
That's a great discussion point. While some people have a natural knack, storytelling is absolutely a skill you can develop with practice through observation, structure, and reflection. You might ask, what's one technique or practice you've used to grow your storytelling ability, even if you didn't start out as a natural?
What is one story you would tell to inspire the world today?
That's a really powerful question. I think I'd share a story about someone who faced a huge obstacle, like starting from nothing. And through resilience, small steps, and belief, they created real change. You could ask, what kind of story would give you or others the hope to endure or act, even in tough times?
Okay, and how can you use storytelling to leave a lasting legacy?
That's a profound goal. Storytelling leaves a legacy when it passes down values, wisdom, or a sense of who we are. You might ask, what story do you hope people will tell about you or your work years from now, and how will it shape their future?
Thank you very much, GPT. You have really contributed an excellent amount of information and answer all my questions very precisely and excellent way with examples and all. And hopefully, I will come back again with some new topics and new questions. Until then, let me say bye with a great thanks to you.
You're very welcome, Zeshan. I'm really glad it was helpful. I'll be here whenever you're ready with new topics. Take care and have a great day.